Welcome to the Fear Fiction Podcast. Fearfic is the term for short horror fiction, mostly posted on the web. It includes any and all related subgenres. Join three assholes talking basement goo Slimebeast, inebriated interstellar traveler Abysmii, and irritable ghostly man-horde Dead Palette, as they read all stories horror and internet-related, paragraph by paragraph, and bullshit while they do it. From adolescent revenge fantasies to subtle postmodern narratives about real-life events and everything in between, they read it and critique. You better believe it. Kick it to the cold open, white boy.
Yeah, Abysmii.
I reserve the right to stop reading this at any point in time.
Abysmii, I noticed that you're staying silent.
Very funny. Because this is 4,366 words long.
I guess we better get into it. Chelsea and I are driving home.
No, you're not.
work.
You're on a podcast. You fucking drunk.
We're on a podcast. Earlier, we were driving home from work. Normally takes 20 minutes. Ended up being an hour and a half. And the reason why is because the highways were shut down. And why were the highways shut down? Because one Madam Kamala Harris is in town, and decided that, we just don't need highways. Ends up being a whole huge clusterfuck. Chelsea and I go home very tired. We lay down to take a nap, and we hear overhead helicopters. Sounds like police helicopters. There to make sure that, Kamala Harris is safe and blah, 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 that there's no, attacks or anything or threats on Madam President.
I mean, to be fair, Capitol Hill riot, but go ahead.
Anyway, we need
in Ohio?
Well, I'm just saying, to be fair, that happened, so...
What is the
They're
corn
probably
gonna
worried.
rise up? Like,
terrible
potatoes.
things happen in the corn.
Yeah.
In the potato fields, there's nowhere to hide in the corn.
Once all them blonde-haired white people take off their red MAGA hat, they just blend into the cornfield.
There's no atheists in a cornfield.
But the point is, we're sleeping half awake, half sleeping, and we hear the helicopters. And Chelsea's first reaction is, do you think she escaped?
I mean, she has been pretty quiet. What do we know what Britney's conservators are doing right now? Maybe they have Kamala.
Well, apparently yesterday she became the first person, not president, but female president. Yes,
To have presidential power.
Yes,
To have presidential power.
Female. She became the first female. Yes,
she became the first female, and so. It's very potential that they, have Joe Biden under the knife and everything, getting operated on, anesthesia, and she's
for a
acting
colonoscopy.
president. Yes,
We're gonna shove a knife up there.
Listen,
that's how tight-ass Biden is.
Damn.
Sorry.
Listen, man, my ass is tight.
God damn it.
Come on.
Now, I would never insinuate that Kamala Harris wants Joe Biden to die in surgery so she can become president.
Jesus.
But I can envision in my head her just walking in and being like, oopsie, just pouring alcohol into wounds or something.
Okay. I
that's
can't picture her saying, oopsie. Oopsie doodle, everybody. Sorry, I'm a little bit wasted.
She would wiggle her eyebrows and do that. I think
she's a girl boss.
She is a girl boss. I think she was probably asked by the Secret Service to change Joe Biden's diaper. And she just escaped. She just bolted. And now we have all of these planes overhead, these helicopters and, searchlights. It's very possible that we're going to hear them. You here in the future listening to this, what Kamala Harris did if she escaped, if she got off the grid.
Mm-hmm.
We don't.
Did she Katie Holmes her way out of there?
Yeah.
Did I ever talk about the time the royal family fucking came to my college?
Came to my house.
What? Wait, Kim and Kanye came to your fucking college? What the fuck?
Yeah, no, totally. No, it was, what was it, Harry and
Dean?
Sally?
The peasant that married into royalty. What's her name?
Harry and the Peasant, a Lifetime movie.
Yeah, Angela Merkel.
Prince Charles.
Yeah.
I forget which fucking one. One of them's a Nazi.
Yeah, Harry and Prince Charles,
the other one's
newly married couple.
they got married and they're touring the UK or whatever, and they came up to St. Andrews, which is a tiny fucking town. And because there's 3 goddamn roads in the town,
my tiny fucking town has some goddamn rules.
Goddamn royal family. But yeah, so basically everyone just I woke up at 9:30 and I've got 7 emails saying don't bother coming to class because the royal family's here. It's like, oh, cool. Well, I guess I still have this big paper I have to do. I guess to go to the library. Oh, wait, never mind. That's closed down too. So
you woke up and you had an email from Prince Charles at hotmail.com, and it said
himself.
It said, "You're cool. Don't come to school tomorrow." You're cool. Don't come into school.
If you hear Cassie barking, Kamala Harris is trying to get into the house, and Cassie's not happy about it. She's seeking refuge here.
So, I hate the royal family for many reasons, but that's one of them. And then when I was living in the Bay, I lived really close to the San Francisco Giants stadium. And whenever there was games...
What is the stadium Giant, or is it the Giants that play there?
Yes. Mm-hmm. And whenever they had a game, they would just shut down every fucking expressway. So I hate sports and I hate the royal family because much like Kamala Harris, they kind of ruin your life for no reason.
Well, you're really going to hate the newest royal family member, Prince Footballington.
This just in. Kamala Harris is now playing for the San Francisco Giants or whatever the fuck it is, and has been knighted. She's now a knight.
All right.
Lady Footballington.
God damn it.
Don't come.
Which form of football is it, though, is the problem?
Well, they do play the NFL in Britain now, so it could be either.
Maybe it's rugby.
Oh.
Rugby would be more respectable.
I don't know, DP. It seems like an awful big allegation to say that Kamala Harris is a rugby enthusiast,
or field hockey.
Yeah,
I don't.
She's really into rugby, Stupid. By the way, it's interesting that the first time we hear about Vice President Kamala Harris in any newsworthy capacity is when she's president for a while.
Well, okay, that's being a vice president. I really don't know anyone who's like, "Oh, sweet, I'm taking this deal." No, name one famous vice president, and not
Dick
the
Cheney.
one who became president afterwards. He fucking died.
Oh God,
Seriously,
Dan the potato quail.
I'll never forget fucking who was it? John Adams talking about it. He was just saying
forget,
I'll never forget who was it again?
Fuck shit, who was that?
Brian Adams? No.
Manuel Macron.
LeBron James.
Brexit.
John Adams was asked, how was it being vice president? He's just fucking awful. I hated every minute of it. Because back then, the rules were the losing party, whoever was running for president, you became the vice president. So he was it was horrible. What? It was terrible. And then I got to be president the next election, so that was great. But I think that's stuck.
I'd like to introduce this esteemed audience and my constituents to my running mate, my opponent.
Yeah. And Hillary, God, fuck. Could you imagine fucking President Trump and Vice President Hillary or vice versa?
That would be the greatest television of all time.
Oh my God.
We would actually have use for a 24-hour news station because it would just be glorious chaos nonstop.
Then you got the streaming service television series, which is about the forbidden love of Ivanka and Chelsea.
Fucking C-SPAN stocks would just skyrocket. I'd be glued to that 24/7.
Hillary would just be rolling her eyes of just Trump can't clean up his socks in the White House.
Don't touch that sock. It's a little crusty. Leave it there.
Matter of national security. Don't touch my socks.
God damn it. And then Bill Clinton comes out, socks, he's alive again? No, Bill.
Well,
Socky's their cat for anybody who's not, old. But go ahead,
when you think about it, the White House is really just a big old mansion.
Yeah.
And Bill Clinton is just a big old
Willie.
Sugar daddy.
Yeah. Sugar daddy. Yeah. Fuck. Obvious segue.
And if you think about it, the Oval Office is just a big EaPAtbp, which is the office.
When you think about it, the Oval Office is just a big old Crosby suite.
Ooh,
We're going to be reading My Sugar Daddy Asked Me for Weird Favors, Part 2.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to recap what happened in Part 1? Because I tried to forcibly remove that from my memory.
So, guys, I'm willing to take on this burden. Okay, so we read Part 1 a long while back. Part 2 is a long time coming here. To recap, everybody, okay, so in Part 1, what happened was nothing. Okay, so here we go. Part 2.
Yep.
Part 2 of Sugar Daddy, I didn't leave my house for almost an entire week.
Sugar Daddy, I didn't leave my house the entire week.
Listen.
Maybe we need to get Britney back under this conservatorship. That's her first post to Instagram. Sugar Daddy, I didn't leave my house for a week. Send.
If this part was written like that, I'd be very excited to read it.
Oh, God.
What if Britney just had, started making really crazy, irrational decisions like, I'm a clone Kevin Federline and marry him.
Have more babies with this clone.
Have more babies with, it's like, Britney, are you all right? She was like, I'm going to go shave my hair and grow out my armpit hair, and then I'm going to braid it, and I'm going to do a little dance on Instagram. Britney, stop. Stop.
Braid your armpit hair, do a little dance. Get
what if Twitter will just become her conservatorship?
Oh, God.
Social media will become her conservatorship.
Can't be worse than her current one. I mean,
you're right. Well, former. Anyway.
Former. Whatever.
The only reason I didn't stay indoors for longer is that I had an important exam in one of my classes that I absolutely had to be present for.
Is this Biden? He has to go to an important exam?
I thought I
had to
president.
cede executive powers for approximately 3 hours.
There was a post on Twitter where somebody said about Biden's colonoscopy, and somebody said, "Yeah, they were checking up on his brain," and I'm like, "Congratulations, you made a joke from Biden's era. Great." Wow. Talk about sinking to somebody's level, sinking through time. Fuck.
That also didn't help with the anxiety I was feeling. As I drove to campus, I kept my eyes glued to my surroundings, almost running 2 stop signs and a red light.
Damn.
I kept expecting Jack, or fake Jack, I suppose, to pop out randomly on the side of the road, or in the car next to me, or in the car behind me, or on the helicopter above me.
Okay, can I start doing this already?
Yeah.
Hey, my name's Jack. Oh, nice to meet you, Jack. Oh, my name's Jack too. Oh, fake Jack.
God damn it.
Sorry, God.
I constantly glanced at my rearview mirror, trying to figure out if the black truck behind me had been there the whole time, or if it was different than the one I had seen 10 minutes ago.
I hadn't told him where.
I remember nothing from the last...
Yeah.
From what little I remember, there are rules about some of them may have been violated. Don't let people in, and there are people outside, and random shit.
He's in there, and that I'm in here, and that he's...
Seriously. I get that our pro tag is paranoid that Jack wrote the rules, and one of them may have been broken, so now they're afraid of what will happen if you broke the rules with Jack, and yeah, I don't care, I'm not invested.
I think, if I remember correctly, it was something like, don't answer the phone at 3 a.m. or some shit.
Right.
And then she answered the phone at 3 a.m. and Jack, the guy who owned the place, was talking to her or something. And then, when she talked to Jack the next time, he was like, I didn't talk to you at 3 a.m. or something. It was some shit like that, similar, I guess.
Insert any insipid rule that the actual rule has no thematic, relation to the story. It's just a rule was broken, oh no.
Insert any insipid rule in a no sleep story? What?
No.
Insipid rule here for no sleep. Anyway, Abysmii.
Insipid rule here, moderator of no sleep.
Would you like to be an insipid rule enforcer? I mean, moderator for no sleep?
Insipid rule enforcer. In IRE?
Yeah.
I just want to make this clear. Hey, moderation team of r/no sleep. r/creepypasta will kick your ass at Fortnite any day, and we've never played it.
Damn fucking straight.
No, you know what? Let's do something that one of us has played, but the other two have almost no experience in. Come 1v1 us at the vending machines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, fuck you.
I don't even know what a vending machine is, yeah.
See if you know, let's go toe-to-toe in vending machine law and see who comes up the victor.
Yeah. I hadn't told him where I went to school, so maybe he wouldn't know. Then again, I hadn't told him where I lived either, and he seemed to figure that out rather quickly. I hadn't texted the real Jack since the incident had happened. I mean, I didn't even know what I was supposed to say. Oops, I didn't follow all your rules, and there's a weird lookalike of yours running around the city. Thank you for pointing out the stupid aspect of the story.
Why is this about Britney Spears?
It really...
Oops, I didn't follow all of your rules, And now there's a weird look-alike of yours running around the city.
Ooh, can't you tell that I'm fake Jack?
God damn it.
My plan, as foolish as it was to act as if all was well. I wasn't going to stir the pot by telling him I had already fucked up, so instead I was going to wait until he realized that something was wrong. Hopefully he wouldn't.
This is like that bit in the sitcom where someone's like, oh God, we have to formulate a plan. I'm going to go under disguise. And it's like, but they've never seen you before. It's like, no, but I need to go under disguise. And they do it as a gag. And it's just like, it's a fake Jack. It's like, but you don't know Jack. It's like, but it's a fake Jack.
You don't know Jack. Oh, yeah, I get it.
Well,
now.
I guess that's what attracts people to this type of story is, oh no, what if it is or isn't the fake Jack? People a rule may have been broken. What could possibly happen? And they're just like on board for their paranoia. But to me, this paranoia is not interesting, nor is it well founded. So I don't really care what happens to our main character.
Do we want to call this paranoia porn?
Ooh.
Pornonoia?
Yeah. I'll say this.
Paranography.
Paranography.
Perineumnography?
At least
that's a good taint.
At least Jack's probably not going to be a Wendigo, probably. Like, at least there's that. I don't know.
He's a jackalope.
He's a Jacobite.
I could see a short story, one story, where it's like somebody who goes through like incredible surgery to hide their identity just because somebody talked to them that day. Like, I was really hoping that the barista at the coffee place wouldn't ask my name. And when she did, I knew what I had to do. That night, I cut off my nose and made sure that my eyes were twice the size through surgical means. She would never recognize me again.
I can see a short story, one story, where it says, I was walking down to the 7-Eleven. A man came up and said, I'll give you $500 if you don't flinch. These are the rules. And before I could say okay, he went to punch me and I flinched. And then I stabbed him in the face and ran away with the $500. Or something to that effect.
Damn it. I will admit that not telling him was more difficult than I had thought, and I found myself constantly checking my phone for texts from Jack, but none appeared. I finished my exam that day, sure I had failed due to my lack of focus, and drove back home where I found Julio standing in my driveway. I don't remember who Julio is, and that's not racist, it's because I don't remember the story. He was looking down at his phone, and I attempted to keep driving down the street before he saw me. Well, that is racist, but I wasn't fast enough.
Oh, right. Lord. The roads in my city have a strange rule where you have to drive on one side of them. Yeah. He glanced and began walking towards my car as I slowly pulled into the driveway, locking my door and trying to remain calm. Instead of shifting into park... It's like, that's how it is when I go out in public and I've had a few things to eat and I'm just like, remain calm.
God damn it.
Everything's okay.
I passed by Julio and he waved to me, recognizing me. That night I knew I had to take my ears off and make sure he wouldn't know me next time. Anyway.
Instead of shifting into my park, I kept my foot on the brakes and shifted into reverse, fully ready in case I needed to make a quick getaway. I sat in the driver's seat looking forward at my front door. I wondered for a second if I would be able to get inside and lock the door before Julio got to me. Suddenly, he leaned down and knocked on the window, making me jump. How did he teleport?
Yes. I'm over here now. Hello.
Oh, teleporting Julio.
Oh, God, Batman, please. That's incredibly racist. It's a different guy. Oh, Julio's here, too. No, Batman, no. It's just a... Oh, fuck. Please.
He's talking through the window. It's like, actually, I just pronounced it Julio. Oh, he's speaking with a thick accent.
God damn it.
I mean, all it says is Julio was in the driveway, and it doesn't really say how far she pulls into the driveway or at all.
Well, I don't know.
Could it not be a far distance for him to walk?
I don't remember this character, so it's literally Julio.
He is in the first part. I did a control F.
It's not hard. There. Okay, so this is a nitpick from somebody who doesn't matter, but you can put an explanation in the story without doing much. Like you could say, when I passed by Julio and thought back to how he did X, Y, and Z, I knew I had to keep driving. And you're like, okay, well now I remember. I don't fucking.
And considering this is like 2 years between the first and the second part, you maybe should recap some things.
Imagine if you like watch any sort of superhero movie and they didn't do that kind of like character interaction thing. It's like, I haven't seen you since the events of Marvel Avengers Endgame.
Wow, Captain Marvel, I haven't seen you since Avengers Endgame.
Did you see Loki? I mean, hear about Loki? The TV?
Me neither, because that's not canon to our timeline. But anyway.
I like that. It's just, hey, Captain America, it's me, Iron Man. I'm so glad that we buried the hatchet on our adventures in Civil War, and now we are working together on the same side again.
Damn it.
This is such a fucking Justin Roiland sketch.
I like Iron Man. I like Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man going, oh, hey there, Cap. How you doing? It's, nice to meet you for the first time. And, Captain America going, oh, I see. You're Iron Man from Iron Man 2. And he's like, really? That's what you're going to go? You're going to go with Iron Man? All right. You know what, buddy? Okay, sure. Anyway.
You're the one who took out Whiplash. It's like, yeah, that's factual.
Technically true, yeah.
What I
World's biggest villain, Whiplash. Oh, thank God you took care of Whiplash.
Hey, Captain America. Wow, it's nice to finally meet you. I'm Spider-Man. Oh, Spider-Man from Iron Man 2. Well, actually, that's a fan theory, but yeah.
Spider-Man, what are you doing on Disney Plus?
Fuck.
Oh my God, it's Thor from Thor, Dark World.
Shit.
Not from Ragnarok, Dark World.
Oh my God, it's Bruce Banner, but not Edward Norton anymore. How you doing?
Thor,
hey, thanks. Thanks for pointing that out. Thanks.
Thor, thank you for taking care of the enemy in Thor: Dark World. Can't recall who that was exactly.
Some sort of gnome, I think.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm not Edward Norton.
Is it just me, or is it purposeful that? And I'll use this terminology, but whatever. Is it just me, or did they cast like the most beta person possible for Bruce Banner? So it was like, okay, yeah, I could see it. Hulk, and then this guy. Okay.
Well, no, I think
whatever.
Edward Norton was perfect for it.
No, I mean the new guy, the Chris.
Mark Ruffalo.
Chris Buffalo. Yeah.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying Edward Norton was perfect for it because he had like this quiet ferocity about him. Like he is kind of like this small guy. He's the Fight Club guy, so he's perfect for it.
Yeah, they should have just had Hulk be Brad Pitt painted green. Just transforms.
I also prefer Edward Norton's Hulk to be.
Yeah, Edward Norton by day, Brad Pitt, Brad Pitt by night.
I'm going to talk about Fight Club. You won't like it when I talk about Fight Club.
Yeah.
I turned to look at him and said nothing. Roll your window down, he said, motioning for me to lower the window. I pressed the button for a split second, making only a tiny crack of open space. It's not me you should be afraid of. Oh, God.
Tiny crack here for...
Paranoia.
Tiny crack here for scalpel-assisted colonoscopies.
Are you tight like Joe Biden? Well, come on down to...
Kanye's new album, Tight Like Joe Biden.
That's a good line. Not gonna lie.
I think that's one of Abysmii's hottest takes ever. Joe Biden, his butthole's really tight and really secure.
God damn it.
I think you're the only person in the country who thinks that he has a tight butthole.
Definitely the only person on Twitter to ever say that.
Wait, you've been posting about this on Twitter? Wait.
Shh, don't tell anybody I'm paying. No, I'm not. I'm not on Twitter.
I want Abysmii to go on Twitter tight. I think Joe Biden has a nice and secure tight butthole, and then it gets flagged by Twitter terms of service. Just he's spreading misinformation.
God damn it.
Here is the Wikipedia article on Joe Biden's butthole.
All I have to do to get banned on Twitter is say, I want to kill Superman with kryptonite bullets.
Yes. I guess.
So, wouldn't be tough.
Oh,
I looked at him and glanced at my rearview mirrors.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, all three of them. Okay.
Yep. The She has 2 rearview mirrors on one side. It's like a flounder, you know. Okay.
It should be rear view mirror and side mirrors that also look back. Whatever, I get what they're saying. Trying to see if any of my neighbors were outside, but they weren't, and I was alone with no witnesses. They were fucked up, he said, leaning against my car. I told you to watch out, and you didn't. You managed to fuck up the rules in one night. They always miss at least one. They.
There are others besides me in the world? Holy shit.
So we have now taken out any mystery of did the Protag actually violate a rule, which maybe that was established in part 1. It's been 2 fucking years since we read this, but now it's kind of just like everything's deflated because you violated the rule. They're after you. Zippity doo dah.
I have something to tell you. My name isn't actually Julio. Pulls off mask. It's me, Rulio. No.
Oh, the rule master.
Oh, the rule master. Yes, and I've come alone. Or have you? Oh, the rule breaker is here too. I told you to stay in the car. Well, you know.
It's just Jay Leno.
It's what?
Hey, it's Jay Leno.
Oh, I thought you said it's Jigglypuff. I'm like, what the fuck?
No, it's Jay Leno. He's just like, oh, no.
Jigglypuff. We're crossing over a Pokemon. Robin, get the bat Pokemon balls.
I get the association, though, because if Jay Leno was a Pokemon master, he would definitely have a Jigglypuff, right?
With the microphone, yeah. He would constantly take it from it, though. I looked up at him, but said nothing, because I honestly had no clue what to say. Get up.
Help.
How do you guys hear that?
Help.
Get out of the car. We're going inside. He tapped his hand on the roof of my car and walked towards my front door. He slapped the top of my car and said, "Yep, this baby can fit so many rule-breaking bitches in it." I thought about driving away, but I wasn't sure where I would go.
The police!
You have infinite directions.
There's a person threatening you.
And a part of me wanted to hear him out. So
Why?
I found... Listen. You can't go around questioning no-sleep stories, all right?
I'm afraid for my life. I check my phone constantly to the point where I ran 2 stop signs and a red light. I'm terrified of Julio. I have my car in reverse so I can explicitly get away. But maybe I should hear him out. Where could I possibly go?
Now you just sound like Kanye talking to the audience again.
No, you don't understand. You can't go anywhere because Madam President has shut down all the roads.
Oh, yeah.
She can't go to the police because of the implication.
Mm-hmm. Fuck. Part of me wanted to hear him out, so I found myself parking the car, turning off the engine, and letting Julio into my house. There's no reason you can't talk outside or in the garage or in the car.
Shit.
Julio can sit in the passenger seat. This is stupid. Not the story, but like the behavior of the character.
Well, but the behavior of the character is what drives the entire story.
He took a seat on my couch and glanced around my living room. This is fancy for a college student. You buy this with Jack's money? He asked. I sat on the couch and he stood behind me, 5 of them.
I rolled my eyes as I stood in front of him. Why did you want to come in? All right, touchy subject, he said, shrugging. I need to talk to you about Jack. Which Jack? The one I've been talking to or the one who appeared in the house?
Oh.
What? He snapped, leaning over and resting his elbows on his knees.
He snapped in half? What? Oh!
Are we imagining him putting his palms together and resting his chin on it very aggressively?
Yeah.
What?
Yes. I imagine him at the refrigerator rifling through it and then in a millisecond snapping back to a sitting position.
I was picturing him standing up straight, snapping at the midsection, and his elbows just land on his knees. He just bends in half while standing there.
I was imagining him snapping back to reality. What?
Oops.
What do you mean? The one who appeared at the house? Jack isn't back yet. I came here to tell you that you forgot to lock the door after a little house-sitting gig, which Jack won't be pleased about. He's very particular about his stuff. He's gotten rid of girls for much pettier shit than this. I am...
Don't care.
Having trouble following this story more than the fucking AI dungeon-generated story.
It's not even hard to follow. It's just who cares? Oh, the implication. Sorry,
I agree.
To use the word.
I agree. Who does care? He's in the house. He's sitting down. He's very worried about what our narrator is doing.
Leo. Does care, yeah.
He has girls watch, do convoluted rules to fuck with them. And, but he's going to be angry about that. He's fucking with you. Yeah, we know. Like, clearly Julio could take care of the house because he knows all the rules and noticed that she didn't lock the door. So, like, the reveal here, which I imagine is just what I stated, is kind of obvious. So, again, why do we care?
Well, I know you haven't read the story recently, and I know it's been like 2 years, but Julio cannot do it because rule number 1 was possess a vagina. So
that's the rule. God, I'm not.
So she's not a Fuda, then, is what you're telling me.
Yeah.
Then again, why am I here? Why do I care?
She could have.
Actually, yeah, you're right. You could have both.
Classically, listen, the definition of Fuda has evolved over time.
For the better.
Listen, guys, in my mind, Fuda just means happy.
I like that Abysmii and I both agree. Ooh, vagina is fucking gay.
But if you have a vagina and a penis and boobs, then...
And the boobs are penises, and between the boobs is a vagina, and in the vagina...
If you can fuck the nipples on the boobs, that's a plus as well.
Let's not talk about shitting dick nipples.
God damn it. Don't bring that meme back.
Oh my god.
Remember Lord of Hentai? I missed that story right now.
Remember Lord of Hentai?
I said nothing and stared at Julio while he stared back with his weird-ass posture, waiting for me to explain myself. His use of the words gotten rid of made me nervous, and I wondered what he meant by that. You are... Okay. Surely he wouldn't kill me over a mistake, right? Was there someone else in the house? He asked after a few seconds of silence. Jack was in the house that morning before I left. How do you suppose that happened? Because Jack hasn't come back from his trip yet. I shrugged, not really knowing what to say.
Do you think it's Jack Black? Do you think he just came down the hallway shirtless, drumming his belly, going, "You broke the rules"?
I think this story has jack shit I care about.
Huh. I shrugged, not really knowing what to say. Julio stood up and angry, sighing in annoyance. Fine. You know what? I originally came over here to ask you for a share of the cash you got for your poor house-sitting job, but it seems to me that you probably fucked up more than I originally thought. So I'm just going to stay out of whatever this is. Good luck! He walked over and opened my front door, waving to me as he left, leaving me standing in my empty house.
You might find yourself standing in an empty house.
And you might find yourself forgetting to lock up a previous house. And you may ask yourself, where is fake Jack?
You may ask yourself, why did I let this stranger in my house?
God damn it.
You might ask yourself, whose house is this? You might ask yourself, why? Why are they paying me to house sit?
And you may ask yourself, whose turn is it to read?
And you may ask yourself, no, it's my turn.
Oh.
You may ask yourself many questions about the believability of this story.
And you may ask yourself, now let me tell you this, not everybody, what the fuck?
Not everyone who asks for a woman to house sit is a weird creepo pervert, okay?
Listen, I asked myself where my beautiful wife was, and you're laughing. You're laughing. It's so stupid.
I ran to the door and locked it as soon as he was gone, and started to freak out once again.
Aw, freak out!
I thought you were going into Don's show there.
Well,
whose house is this? Who am I?
This is my house.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Got a set of rules here.
I mean,
Don Joe pulls up. Julio says, "What do you think you're doing?" "The burger shot."
Yeah, exactly.
I like the idea of living alone. You just go into your house and you're just like, I'm house sitting today.
Yeah.
I thought about what I was going to do if Jack came by from his trip and found that I had messed up. What if Julio was right and someone had broken into the house and robbed him?
Who cares?
Did he even say that?
Maybe I just thought I
Julio
saw
didn't
Jack.
say that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
What did I wasn't listening to what Julio was saying.
It's not what Julio said. It's what she's like interpreting, like the implication of what he's
God
saying.
damn it! Stop saying the implications. It's the third time.
Can't help it.
What maybe it was just another stranger who looked like him. My mind was going a mile a minute as I tried to figure out what to do. I paced around my house for a few hours before finally deciding that I was going to drive back to Jack's house and make sure that Jack wasn't in his box and that nobody had broken in.
All right, we have the pretense for why we're going back into the thick of the story.
I'm paranoid about someone killing me in this house. That's the source of all of my tension and suspense and danger. Guess I better go back because a random dude I let into my fucking house implied that I should.
I'm not here to blame the victim. I'm going to continue to read, though.
But wait. Julio said that she forgot to lock the house when she left, meaning Julio was there and Julio had the ability to lock the house, but she's going to go back and make sure it hasn't been broken into. Julio's already been there and he's seen it, so what the fuck?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, she wants her money, so whatever.
Yeah, but maybe she's just one of those dumb women and didn't notice because she's a dumb woman.
God damn it.
Is our writer? Did we discuss this last time? Is our writer a woman or?
We did not discuss that, and I don't think it really matters.
No, I'm just curious. I'm always curious if an author's gender comes out in the story. Anyway,
just halfway through the story, I flopped my dick out on the table. Oh, okay.
It's just like, oh,
my giant woman penis.
Giant woman penis. Leave me alone, Batman. Fuck. Stop pointing and yelling. Stop
I can't take it. Gotham isn't ready.
This is just Batman sliding into a trans porn star's DMs like, send me dick pics. If they had, they would simply make an anonymous police report or something. Besides, the only way he would ever know that it was my fault would be if Julio snitched on me, which didn't seem like he was planning on doing anymore.
Sorry, just imagining Batman watching OnlyFans and like somehow discovering a woman with a penis and going, "Oh, the woman with the penis" in the comments.
God damn it! All capital letters.
Everyone's like, "Yeah, we know." That's the point.
The name of the person is Cynthia McBigpenis. What were you expecting?
Thought you were a detective.
Cynthia McBigpenis.
I'm pretty proud of coming
of the Northampton McBigpenises.
Bruce, you don't go on the internet much, do you? The what? I only have the Batternet. It's an intranet resource.
Batternet. I only have the Batternet. Turns out it's mostly about cooking, but when I bought it, I didn't realize. Fuck.
Batternet simply makes Scotch bonnets. Simply.
Am I at I made?
Yep.
Okay. I made the drive over in silence, trying to control my breathing so that I didn't have a meltdown on the highway. I finally pulled into the driveway and turned the engine off, but I couldn't work up the courage to get out of the car. I sat there for a few minutes, and Julio came over and knocked on the window and said, "Roll down the window." He then said, "I'm going to get staring at the giant house, trying to force myself to
Julio popped out of my trunk.
I looked in the mirror and saw Julio.
You thought I was gone. Staring at the giant house, trying to force myself to unbuckle my seatbelt, open the door, everyone do the dinosaur, and get out of the car. The house, which once looked impressive, now made me feel anxious and out of place. I couldn't stop myself from imagining all sorts of horrible scenarios that I could stumble upon once I opened the door. I thought about how many possible hiding places there were in a house that large.
Hey, stupid. How about you don't do this then?
How about you go to the fucking police?
No, just go to the regular police. The fucking police are an entirely different breed. Alright. I don't know how long I sat there before I finally decided to get out of... Wait, that sounds like we already read it. I don't know. I don't know how long I sat there. Was this said before when she was at her own house, this exact phrase, or not? I don't know. I don't know how long...
This bitch sits in cars without driving a significant amount for some fucking reason.
She sits in cars until someone says get out of the car, and then she just does it.
She's the human version of a video game that lets you play for 5 seconds between cutscenes.
Press X to get out of the car.
Fuck, I'm sitting in the car again in front of a house. Alright, let's see what happens now in the cinematic. I don't know how long I sat there before I finally decided to get out of the car and walk towards the front door. I hesitated for a few seconds before taking a deep breath and pushing the door open. I don't know how long I sat there. I hesitated for a few seconds before getting out. I don't know how long I sat there before I finally decided to get out of the car and walk towards the front door. I hesitated for a few seconds before taking a deep breath and pushing the door open. I don't know how long I sat there. I hesitated for a few seconds before getting out. I hesitated for a few seconds before taking a deep breath and pushing the door open. I don't know how long I sat there. I hesitated for a few seconds before getting out. I don't know how long I sat there.
Deep breaths.
I don't know how long I sat there, but I hesitated for a few seconds before I got out. Seems like you know how long you sat there.
Yeah.
I hesitated for a few seconds. Okay.
Elias, please keep looping him saying that for like 3 minutes and see how long. Like there's been people listening at like work or whatever while they're doing other things, and they're totally just going to be caught off. It's like,
I hesitated for a few seconds before taking a deep breath and pushing the door open. Only it didn't open because it was locked. Fucking Jesus. I assumed that Julio had probably locked it and looked for the key on my keychain. I unlocked the door and stepped into the living room, taking a look around. But then I stepped back out. Julio locked me out again. I got the key again.
I got into the car, took a few deep breaths, waited a few seconds. I'm not
Julio
sure how
knocked
long
on the
I
window
waited.
and said, roll down the window. And I said, what are you doing here? He said, come inside the house. It was unlocked.
I walked into the house and took a few deep breaths. I looked out at my car.
This is like being railroaded in an indie horror video game on itch.io, where like you're not so much playing a game as you are just playing someone's like horror movie cutscene that they can't film, so they just like put it in a video game.
Hello puppet combo. So anyway,
I mean, I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
That's the thing. But this at
You know
least
what
I get
this
to
is?
play a game.
This is I'll do you one better. This is the horror story equivalent of, boy, I'm sure glad the caveman is in there and I'm out here and that he's the sheriff and I just remembered I'm in there. All right.
I will say, I don't know. I don't know what to do with this. We're definitely not finishing this shit. Come on.
No.
Everything
it's
looked
too
normal
long.
enough. There were no signs of breaking and entering or anything like that. Well, the door was unlocked, you fucking dipshit. Why would you say that? You know, the character, not the... And I was glad that Julio had come over and realized my mistake before someone else had. I closed the door behind me, this time double-checking that I locked it. I took a few deep breaths and stepped out to the car, locking the door behind me. I was locked out. I looked for my keys and began to make my way further into the house.
You were reading faster. You were saying it faster than I was reading it. I was like, does it say that? Oh shit, I'm getting lost. I'm getting confused, guys. I have to say, this really sounds like someone who took a house-sitting job and just fucked off and didn't do it.
Yeah.
And is like feeling like a weird anxiety about it. This should be posted on a different Reddit and not be a horror story.
Why now? Why part 2 now, 2 years later? Because it would be one thing if part 1 was more self-contained, but left a little bit open for intrigue and not just like another cliffhanger of, was a rule broken? What's going to happen? Like something a bit more subtle. And then you could expand upon everything with a part 2 2 years later. It wouldn't be a problem. This picks up directly after part 1. 2 years have passed. Was it just, well, that's the top rated story on No Sleep. I might as well make a sequel. And it just kind of gets like, thrown together.
45K upvotes.
Well, why not capitalize on that earlier? Imagine
it's-
if they had done a 10-part series, like a month apart each time. Like, the top 10 of all time on No Sleep would just be this story. Why not capitalize on it then?
You know what's amazing is that this story, the first one, I don't remember if it was like bad, but I'll tell you this for sure. It's forgettable.
I would say the first one's better than this one, just simply by virtue of the fact that it's the first part. That's it.
I'll say this. I don't remember that bitch breathing as much in that one. She keeps taking deep breaths in this one, and it's bothering me.
I remember
Do not
like,
breathe so hard.
I remember her taking actions and like, okay, I took the job. I went to the job. Here's the rules that happened. Here's the things that happened. And now I'm afraid and I'm running away. At least things happened. This is, I left because I was scared, and then I met a guy and I was scared, and I went back because maybe there's something more to it, and I'm scared. That's it.
I looked, and I will I will not be charitable here. I was not charitable, and I looked up to see if the first story was like narrated recently, which would mean like there's some popularity around it now, so they wrote a sequel. But that was not the case. So that's not.
No,
why.
This is 2 years old, and like narrators who do shit like this, they do complete series because then they can chuck together like a fucking 3-hour YouTube video and get
hello Lord of Hentai. Those are big.
How dare you?
Big tour de force.
Smirch.
How dare.
But I like the idea of, like you said, somebody doing just a bad house sitting job. I like the idea of the story saying somebody had broken in and starved their cat.
Like, okay, if this was from the opposite perspective, and it was I gave someone a simple list of rules to follow, and they ruined my life because they, like, destroyed my house, they killed my pets, that would be an interesting horror story.
They blew up the lobby.
Stormed the Capitol. Obviously, this is not meant for me. This is not what I like in short horror fiction. But I also I fail to realize why people like this.
Here's the thing: it's popular enough to where we can just be very brutal and say we don't like it. It's not. I don't get what the appeal is. I don't. The story.
I do.
We've beaten that to death, and my questions are, and I'm not like, not meaning to insult the author or that their product is bad or whatever. I'm simply asking why now? Why now?
Yeah,
why
for
do
sure.
this now?
Let me say this, and I'll tell you this. I know why these stories are popular.
Okay.
It's the Lost effect, like the show Lost. Okay.
Haven't we moved past that as a society?
No. The thing is, and this is not anything. This is not like anything wrong with the reader. This is not anything wrong with the author. I think this just happens organically most of the time. I don't think anybody plans it, but it's the Lost effect. Say what?
Like a nocturnal emission.
It's the Lost effect where an author starts out not knowing where they're going, but they throw in a bunch of details, and that's not necessarily a terrible thing. They're just writing a story. They're just having fun. And the audience presumes that it's going somewhere planned and that they're paying attention, keeping track for the big reveal. But there isn't one. You know what I mean? And the parts go on and on and on, like seasons of Lost, until eventually people realize there's nothing coming. I think that's what happens. I think it's just the reason these are popular is people don't realize there's nothing to it. They think something's coming.
It's interesting seeing how that kind of developed with FNAF, where it was like a very shallow thing that was latched onto, and Scott Cawthon was like very clearly like, shit, people are theorizing like crazy. I better play up this. And he's just kind of like I don't think that those stories are bad. I think he's just after the fact trying to fix shit, and people are like, yeah, there's this plot hole here, and it's like, yeah, because there was nothing there, and he tried to fill it in with the shit you guys wanted him to fill it in with. He saw what it was you wanted and tried to like satisfy you, and people are like, oh, I don't like this, and it's like, well, he did his best.
I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. Number 3 was a wonderful ending because literally the restaurant burns down. It was haunted. Someone made a haunted attraction out of the thing that you played in for the first game, like almost saying, hey, we're trying to resurrect this thing and we're grasping at straws and we're making it into a haunted attraction. Ha ha. Oh no, it burned down. Like, that was a great place to end it, at least for me. And I'm not going to tell Scott Cawthon what to do with this franchise, but, it really just feels like everything after that was, okay, I guess I got to keep going with this.
Speaking of a great place to end it, we should wrap up this episode.
Yeah, I wish that was how every major motion picture franchise ended, by the way. At movie 3, at the end of it, it's like, oh no, it burned down. The end.
You sure?
RoboCop 3. Oh no, wait, the company burned down. Oh well, the end.
Most TV series should just end at a 4th season. Like, you really, and that's not to say that people are bad at writing. It's just your idea does not have length beyond 4 seasons. That's okay.
Season 3.
Tell your story and move on to another one.
Season 3 of Friends. Uh-oh, the Friends building burned down. The end.
The apartment complex burned down. The 9/11 attacks.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Are you saying that the Friends lived in the Twin Towers?
Yes.
Well, I'm saying Tower 3.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Of course.
Paprika and I were like trying to look for something stupid to watch, and I don't know what prompted it, but I think I just said, "Hey, let's watch the X-Files movie." Just because
I thought you were going to say 9/11 footage. What do you want to watch, babe? I don't know. What do you want to watch? I don't know. Loose change, maybe?
No, but like...
Woman just comes over for a Tinder date, and you're just like, want to watch some live leaks?
Hey, babe.
9/11 footage? No. Oh, want to read some short story 1?
Hey, babe. I know we just hooked up online, and you were looking for sex, but guess what? Your mind is what it's about to be blown. Check this out.
But basically, like, it was made before 2001, so rampant terrorist bombings of giant buildings was like a thing we didn't really care about as a society. It was just interesting to see.
Well, it's like that episode of The Lone Gunman, the show that was like a spin-off of The X-Files. I know I've said this before, where they had a show that was a spin-off of The X-Files called Lone Gunman, about conspiracies, nuts, and everything. And one of the episodes was them trying to stop a passenger plane full of people from being flown into the Empire State Building.
Oh, no.
And it was being remotely controlled, like a drone, by the U.S. government to create a false flag attack. And this was right before 9/11 happened. So it was like,
no.
Spooky. Anyway.
Yeah,
so
so that's all you get.
I don't know.
I'm just saying that everyone who died in 9/11 is a crisis actor.
Jesus fucking Christ.
This has been the Fear Fiction Podcast. Your hosts are Abysmii, Dead Palette, and Slimebeast. Music by Abysmii. Art by C.F. Comer. Voiceover by Atticus Jackson. Edited by Elias the Intern. Subscribe to Fearfic on YouTube to stay up to date on new episodes.
I met Jesus at a flapjack restaurant. He has some strange rules. Part 1 by Double. So, I'll be honest, I'm in this flapjack-related situation because I got sick of being called a soy boy on the internet. I decided that enough was enough, and I started applying for jobs around town. My first attempt was at the Pizza Hatch, but they said I wasn't experienced enough for their standards. Then, as luck would have it, I got a job at a place called Flapjack's Flapjacks. I went in bright and early because I wanted to make a good first impression. Hell, if this went well, my wife might stop dating her boyfriend, and I could make her flapjacks. I washed up and got ready to meet the veteran flapjack employees. To my surprise, there was only one flapjack person in the kitchen, if you don't count the creepy flapjack man animatronic. I couldn't believe it. It was him. It was Jesus flapjacking Christ. He looked at me, smiling a great smile. Jesus Christ. It's actually Jesus Christ. Hello, my son. Welcome to our flapjack restaurant. I shook his flapjack hand, trying to avoid touching the big holes in the middle of it. So, you're the new flapjack guy, huh? He said in his godly, flapjack-making voice. I nodded. Before I could say anything, he continued. Before anything, there are some flapjack rules you need to follow. Number 1, always keep the first flapjack. For flapjacks are people too, and they're all special in their own way. Number 2, never use flapjacks as spare tires, for it's too much strenuous activity for them. Number 3, if you play music, make sure it includes flapjack or flapjack-related objects. Number 4, always offer the flapjack animatronic a flapjack, but never the first flapjack of the day, for it will offend the flapjack animatronic. Number 5, always utilize flapjacks for traveling across the restaurant, much like edible roller skates. Number 6. Make absolutely sure your shower is utilizing grade A maple syrup from Vermont only. The flapjacks get offended when you use non-American syrup. Number 7. And finally, never leave without flipping a flapjack while saying flipping flapjacks flippity flopjack. After this, he got back to making flapjacks. He made them by pouring the batter through the hole in his hand. After they were done, I noticed people getting their wishes granted. These flapjacks must be miraculous flapjacks. I ate one and instantly saw a Nintendo Switch and a flapjack. But just so you know, things here at Flapjacks aren't all sunshine and flapjacks. So I was looking through the little security camera while nobody was there, and I saw the flapjack animatronic. He was looking up at the camera, glaring at me with his flapjacks looking right into my flapjacks. It was too much for me to handle. I got on my knees and vomited flapjacks all over the flapjacks kitchen. What would Jesus think if he could see me laying face first in a 20-foot long and 50 feet wide puddle of puke and flapjacks? It was only 2 days in, and I broke flapjack rule number 2. I had a flat tire. Now I flapping wish I hadn't. The flapjack mascot is looking through my window with a flapjack in his hand. I will post updates later.
Oh my, okay, I'm going through the comments. Original
No,
poster.
we're ending on that terrible thing.
Well, okay, if Elias wants to keep this in, fine. Opie has been trapped for a year. Hope someone can help her. Oh no, I guess I was assuming Opie needed some time to decompress before telling their story. I hope they aren't still trapped. Fuck off! It's been a year!
Are we actually not finishing this at all, or are we doing like a part 2?
Hell no, I'm not finishing this shit.
We're not finishing this shit.
Hell
but
no.
We're definitely keeping this in.
Abysmii, you sound like a 90s kid in a commercial where they serve the cereal he doesn't like before he gets the good one. Hell no, I'm not finishing this shit.
Okay, I'm a 90s kid. I can't help that. I'm sorry.
I can't help that. When anyone when anyone serves me subpar cereal for breakfast, I get angry.
You know when like Red Letter Media is watching like a 90s movie and someone's like skateboarding and they do the whoa, like I'm sorry, but like that's me. I grew up next to the beach. I was a surfer kid. Like I'm sorry, it's just
not
me.
Glance over the fact that the OP has been trapped for a year, according to these comments. Fuck off.
Because like we couldn't possibly say like, oh, like no, seriously, no one could go because there's no sleep and say, hey, really cool to see this continued after a year. Glad to see you back. That has to be in a private message because we can't break kayfabe. Like, fuck off.
Is your child a picky eater who won't eat his breakfast? Hey, bitch, I'm not eating this shit. Fuck off with that, you cunt. What? Wait, whoa.
Picky eater.
Whoa. Little Abysmii, stop.
Whoa. Sorry. But we are ending on...
Yeah, we're done with this episode.
What does DP say? Hitler didn't do anything wrong? Whatever it was, we're ending on that. Whatever DP said was awful.
Stopping the recording.
Operation Drop Bears is a fan fiction I wrote. Took a lot of time and effort. I did it as an exercise to write stuff that I normally don't. Normally I write horror. This is romance. Normally I write...
You don't have to explain it so much. Okay, guys. He wrote a My Little Pony smutfic. It's alright. A bunch of drop bears drop onto Twilight or whatever the fuck. I don't know.
It is a Rainbow Six Siege fan fiction. So basically it's Tom Clancy fan fiction when you think about it.
Rainbow Six Siege fan fiction. They're holding out at a stable where the My Little Pony characters are, and then the operators fuck them, and yeah, we get it.
No, they ride them.
Apple
to the sun.
Fucking Apple Crisp or whatever, you know.
What? Okay, Apple Crisp is a character in Siege. What is their ability?
They're a horse.
They turned into a horse and galloped down the hallway.
They're a horse with a minigun in place of the saddle.
Oh, God. It's a fan fiction I wrote. It is saucy. I normally write short stories. It's pretty long, considering. And then also I normally write stories that are in the first-person narrative, and I tried to write this from the God perspective. It was very challenging for me. So it's like, hey, do you like Dead Palette stories? Probably won't like this.
Well, you did hide a watermelon in the story, though, so that's good.
True.
Comment if you find where the watermelon is.
And what was the title again? The Operator's Balls Drop?
None of the characters
Operation Balls Drop.
One of the characters that isn't in the sexual activity is a
horse.
Conservative. Is a horse. Fuck it. Cut the plug.
Yeah, no, fuck it.
Fuck.